There is something very imposing about prisons.
And there's tunnels from this trapdoor. Guards would be able to look through there with their guns pointing at you.
Pick you off.
So we're in prison.
Not the first time we've been in prison.
Would you look at those walls?
And these walls were all built by the inmates.
They were indeed. And the first inmate came here in 1871. This is 24 foot high, 3 feet wide at the top, 4.5 feet wide at the bottom, and goes underground by another 4 foot to stop the inmates tunnelling. Some tried, none succeeded. So this was the location of the 1896 cell house, and it was divided into 2 sections by a 2 foot thick wall, which ran right up to the roof. The smaller section held up to 32 youths, and the larger section held up to 258 men. But it didn't have any running water or sewer facilities. Each cell just had 2 buckets, one for sewage and one for water. You wouldn't want to mix those up.
Now, what did they do with the old cell house?
Well, the original cell house had towers and everything. It was damaged in an earthquake and knocked down. Then they put this concrete slab on and built a gymnasium and another structure, which ended up being moved to the new prison.
Oh, okay.
True story.
So still in use then?
Yep.
Yeah, but you see the foundations, the concrete's just caving in. This is what happens when it's open to the elements too, though.
There you go, it says here.
Classroom.
So the classroom and the gymnasium, and they were moved in 1979 to a prison west of Deer Lodge.
Okay. There is something very imposing about prisons too, isn't there?
So this is Addison. We've made friends with Addison, and he's taking us into the tower. Nobody's been in here. Let's take a look. Mind your head. So this is where the guards would enter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is where they would spend a whole shift.
They had to stand the whole shift?
Now their whole shift, how many hours would that be?
8 to 10 hours.
And they would be armed and looking out over the facilities.
Absolutely.
Look at that. Nice view over the whole lot.
Oh, and we can walk along the side.
Only a little bit.
Only where the railings are.
Only where the railings are. And what's interesting is a lot of people think that these railings actually went all the way around the wall. They didn't. Where they stopped today is where they stopped back then. So there was part of the history that we have here is back in the early days, they would actually bring people up here and they'd suit them up like they were going to go to work, and then they'd have to walk this wall in a certain amount of time. And that was basically your job interview.
Oh wow, to see whether or not they were okay with the height and whether or not they were okay with walking on the narrow, because this is what, 3 foot?
Yeah, it's about the width of a sidewalk.
Yeah, so 3 foot wide, because further down's 4.5 foot, and then it goes 4 foot into ground.
Correct. Yep. And the thing I always like to tell people is, right now it looks pretty easy and a lot of people think they could do it. but we have pretty harsh winters here. So when there's
I
ice
see.
and snow and wind,
Yep.
it was dangerous. So not many people could do it.
I don't think I'd want to do it now.
My knees quaked a little bit the first time I went.
Yeah.
Stephen's frightened of heights, so there's no way he'd want to do
Oh,
it.
so you're hating?
Frightened of heights and bad knees. So
And spiders.
Hey, I'm right there with you.
there we go. What a view, though. Crows give it a bit of a ominous.
So that is tower number 7.
Okay.
And I've got a story about tower number 7.
I can't wait.
Okay, stop. See this?
Out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Now, if the prisoners cross this line, the guard at tower number 7 could shoot them. Now, in 1911, when the wall was extended, tower 7 became the main entry port or entryway into the prison for prisoners and visitors.
Much like the Sally Port at Yuma.
Yeah. This was the main entrance in the end. So you had one door here, one door here,
And then the bar is there as well.
one door here, yes, and then the main entrance.
All right, so 4 doors. So once you come into this first room,
You have a guard. Now, each of the doors had a different lock, a different key.
okay.
And the key was on a rope and funneled down the tube. The door would be unlocked. The visitors would go to the next one, be locked, goes back up. Then they're in here, same thing. Guard takes the key, unlocks the door, they're here, locks it, and then locked. Key goes back up here,
Okay.
and the same for that one.
Wow.
So, bit of a mishmash.
Yeah, low-tech solution, but it worked.
And there was a guard that was up there.
Right, so this leads up to the actual tower.
Yeah, and there's also something else that I want to show you. In here, look down there.
Oh, trap door.
That's a trap door. And there's tunnels from this trap door.
Yeah, I can see down there. A little bit.
We'll talk more about that later.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is the main administration building. And look, it was built in 1931, replacing the old one. It's even got the date up there.
Yeah, I love how the peeling paint works. And
So people would come in here because they were doing visiting. It's a nice trendy guard.
why are you wearing your sunglasses inside?
So this was the visiting area. And this was the non-contact visiting area. And over the years, more and more and more mesh was put on to stop contraband being put through.
Okay.
And the inmates were strip searched before they came in and when they left.
Right, because the people coming in from the streets just came in through that
That's
Sally
right, so
Port
they
area.
came through the 3 doors.
Up in here, spoke to the guard.
Yeah, and then they would either come here or go left, which we'll do that in a minute. And this is all the contraband I should say, that was taken. I mean, look, you've got
Wow.
knuckle dusters and not very nice.
Little shanks and pieces of chain, all types of weapon.
And look-
Personal tattoo machine.
And look, something stuffed. Oh, a smoking kit stuffed into a baseball. And would you look at those shoes with concrete soles? So it says here, inmates that were thought to be a potential escapee were made to wear these shoes, and each shoe weighs 20 pounds.
Jeez.
So let's go through to the other visiting
Regular
area.
visiting area, all right.
I guess this could be for people who had less crimes, because you could put things through here.
Look how thick these are too.
Yeah, they're thick, but you could still put contraband through.
I'm just meaning today's chain link fences aren't as thick as this either.
Yeah. And there's another guard.
Very neat. I do love the construction techniques throughout and the look of buildings, like from the 30s, 20s, 30s, and earlier. Again, they had character, even though it was for a prison.
So look, these are some of the prisoners. Now look at that guy. I mean, he looks a vicious dude, doesn't he?
Yeah, he looks quite angry.
And, oh, I see. So they've got the before and after picture of where they cut their hair.
No. Poor Mr. Rooney. Why did they bother cutting his hair? He didn't have any to begin with.
Well, I guess the reason why they did it was because of lice.
That's true. Makes sense.
So this is the secretary pool, I guess.
Okay,
Where?
telephone exchange and mail room. She's got a kitty, coffee, and a donut.
She looks like she's had one too many donuts.
Yeah. She likes her job. I'd like that job too.
I think her eye makeup's hilarious. You'd get arrested for eye makeup now wearing that.
But this is cool too. All the
machinery.
The machinery that's left in here is really neat to see. The old books. Social services director.
Well, they had a psychiatrist in here as well.
April 1959. Supervisor for the social services. And the chaplain.
Huh.
Other side of the chaplain. Photograph booking room. Look at that.
So this is where you'd have your mugshot taken.
That guy's enjoying having his picture taken.
He's
got that smirk on his face.
He kind of looks like a bit Elvis-y type, doesn't he?
Rockabilly before it was a thing.
Yeah. And then you've got the females too.
Social worker,
and this
psychiatrist.
is the psychiatrist.
Wow, they had a dark office, didn't they?
I think you'd need a psychiatrist after working in a dark office. I kind of wouldn't want to have dental surgery back in those days. Look at that bone saw. Look at the size of that syringe.
All of these, yeah, they do look like torture devices in some sense.
And anesthesia masks.
Jeez. Well, they did have dental work though, so.
And medical.
Mm-hmm. Again, I like looking at these, the instruments and things now. It's just very neat, how things have changed.
Yeah. I remember my dad had a early 1900s doctor's bag in his collection. And that was really interesting. I don't know what ever happened to that. I think it got sold. Okay,
I
where to
wear
next?
my sunglasses inside. Okay, getting into some prison cells, huh?
Yeah, and look. You can even go behind and under the stairs.
Under the stairs.
So we can't go up there.
Nope. The loo?
Bathroom.
So this would have been for guards, I take it, because
No.
the prisoners would be locked up, right?
Well,
Because here you've got this door, which would have a lock, and they'd be locked in their cells, right? Ooh. So they would had their own toilet and basin here.
yeah, looks like it. So yeah, you're right, that would be for the guard. And then, so you've got a second cell. I wonder if this place is haunted. And again, in here, yeah, there's your loo and your basin. But it's kind of a bit like an isolation cell.
It seems like it. And then small shower here.
Huh. Interesting.
And this is going to be the opposite side, huh?
Well, this is more of an isolation. This is almost like the dark cell,
Yeah.
where prisoners have been really naughty.
Just made my own jump.
That is funny.
That is creepy. It's concrete
Concrete
benches
bed,
instead there.
a shower.
Again, another shower and dark cell.
They're all dark though. If you think that there's absolutely zero windows, you've got, I mean, there would be no lights. These would be turned off, and that would be, so you would be totally in the dark.
Also add to that, these are modern bulbs, not the type of bulbs that they would have used back then either. That is funny though.
And this would have been another cell here, because that's the bed.
You're right.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cells and a shower. Oh, what's through there?
I think that's another staircase, isn't it?
I'm going to take a look. Ah! I know what that is.
Oh yeah? Is it next?
Ah. So this is a newer edition, 1912.
Beautiful architecture.
Because of the overcrowding, they built this to hold a further 200 people.
Wow.
And the difference is with this one, it had good ventilation and each cell had a flushing loo.
Wow. Luxury.
True story.
Look at this.
This is very reminiscent of Alcatraz. So 2 per cell, running water, flushing loo.
So that's a big improvement over those other
And air
ones.
quality.
This is a massive building.
I didn't realise that. I thought there was only 3. It's not, there's 4, it goes up 4.
It does.
4 levels.
Imagine the noise that would be in here. You know, when you have crowds of people, obviously speaking, but then two prisoners per
And
cell if it was
probably
full.
would echo as well.
Oh yeah, and the guards.
Oh, and the showers. I have a fun fact about this shower area. Did you know that 15 bathtubs with multiple rings occupied this location? And the area was complete with lye soap and starch linen towels. Now this is temporary lockup. And that up there is called Fish Row. And apparently all new inmates were classed or called fish, and they stayed here until they were accustomed to prison life and then went into the general population, or if they felt that they needed extra protection, they ended up staying here. And can you see that's separated off?
Yeah, there's an extra key to there, and then more protection
Yeah.
I guess for throwing items or whatnot. Huh.
So on this tier, you're going to find a lot of the original graffiti. This is the one that a lot of it has not been painted over or scraped off. So, and one of my favorites is up here, and I'm trying to find it. I think it's in 222.
Now, did these have double bunks?
Yes.
So all of these had double bunks.
220.
We're going into 220.
So this is his representation of even the garden
Oh, wow.
with the snake.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. And who did that? We don't know.
Don't know.
And you don't know the date either.
No. I think around the late 60s, early 70s, they really let the inmates start to bring in paint and express themselves and
Right.
things like that in their cells, just to give them something to do, keep them quiet,
Yeah.
express themselves while they were sitting in here. So you'll see a lot of it, but to try to narrow it down to a certain artist is hard, because if this guy left and another one came in, then we don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
And if one started something, the other one finished it. Or,
Yeah.
So is there anywhere in the prison that you haven't been?
Not really.
Oh, we need to
Nice.
hang out with you more.
I'm a big one on history.
Yeah.
Yes. So
and
we are.
historical places, so to work here is not really a job.
That's
we
what we said.
We actually just said the
We
same
said we
thing.
would love to work here. Yeah.
Go on the historical dust tours or the ghost tours, they get up here.
Yeah.
And then out of all the years, I mean, this stuff has lasted. People don't mess with it. They
Yep.
don't take anything. They have such respect. We have such good luck
Yeah.
with that kind of stuff. It's amazing.
Well, and that's the thing we always get annoyed with about people that go to, because a lot of places we go to, we don't even give out the real name to it. We will for here because it's obviously, but like some of the mining camps or ghost towns or places we've been to, because you find little pieces of humanity still there and you don't want it to get ruined.
Right.
Because it's like, that's that person's
Or
life.
stolen. And stuff that gets
that's-
stolen as
that's
well.
kind of how we are here. I
Yeah.
mean, we're still finding stuff. I was archiving stuff last year, and I mean, I found old tins of tobacco and,
Yeah.
Old Three Musketeer bars with
Oh,
the
wow.
old wrappers on them. Yeah,
Oh,
I
let me
mean,
turn the
we're
cameras off.
still finding stuff.
Yeah.
So.
So I love that stuff. And that's what, I think that's another reason why we do this. We try to keep things, especially with the ghost towns, okay, let's put this on record before it's completely gone.
Gone. Yeah.
So it's at least it keeps somebody's hope alive or somebody's memory alive.
Right.
Showers, okay.
No
very-
privacy.
No. So just a stall, soap dish, shower head.
Yep. And then down here is the hole, where they were fed bread and water 3 times a day, and they were in total darkness. The only light is from this little peephole.
And no remnants of cot or anything.
Probably, that was the light, probably sleep on the floor and, well, don't know, maybe pee in a bucket. The chapel. But did you know this was once the bakery?
Oh, okay. I wonder why such the drastic change.
I don't know.
Bakery sounds pretty good actually right now.
But I'll tell you something else.
Ooh.
That is a gun port. Remember those the trapdoor at
Yes.
Tower 7, the tunnels? They go all over underground at the prison so they can access anywhere. And that is part of the tunnel system. So guards would be able to look through there with their guns pointing at you, and if you were naughty,
Pick you off. Can we get into those?
let's see if we can have a little look. Let's take a look. This was also the dining area. And a lot of the time, if there was going to be trouble, it was either going to be in the dining area or outside. So there was always a guard with tear gas positioned.
Here in the tunnel?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
So that's where we were looking in from at the chapel.
So this one is the...
Secret area.
No, I think...
Because you got another ladder going up into that tunnel system there.
Yeah, they're all over the place. So basically you could get from one end of the prison to the other in pretty much every area, all underground. So if there was a riot, that was it, what it was for.
Okay. Yep, here we are, the chapel.
And then... that would be up and locked. Huh.
So when we go back up, we'll have to see if we can take a look at where that is.
Yeah, let's turn this end.
Oh,
Yeah, see, more tunnels, more steps. Wouldn't it be great if you could access all the tunnels in every single area? Oh, hang on. What one's this then?
movie theater.
Huh. Interesting. There's two. So another one this end. And then,
Get them from the front and the back.
yeah.
Wow.
And then
It continues
that's
on. But yep, locked gate.
I can't see the end.
No.
Aren't you glad I brought the torch?
Another port down there. And ladder going up.
Now look at the brickwork. I wonder if that was at the tower, one of the towers, because it had access to all the guard towers as well.
Oh, very possible.
Maximum security.
Weren't we just in maximum security?
No, this used to be the women's prison from 1907 to 1959. And then after the riot, they needed to get those leaders, those ringleaders from the riot into an even more maximum security. So, hence this place.
Okay. And this is where the women were also?
The women were here, but then they were moved.
Okay. Ladies first. Are we going to go left first then?
Yeah, look at this. JED, 19th of December 1951. 1951. May 3rd, 1957. 57. 56. Huh. Interesting. So I have a fun fact about this women's prison.
Yes.
So throughout the whole duration that it was a women's prison, no more than 10 female prisoners were ever here at any one time.
Now,
True story.
do you think that's because women didn't get in trouble as often, or they just didn't get caught as often?
Bit of both. Women are a lot smarter than men. True story. No, I just thought, so I'm thinking, why is it such high security? But this was all put on in after the riot.
Oh, okay.
Because the women's prison was converted.
To become maximum
Maximum security.
Oh, right, I see. That makes a little bit more sense.
And look at their beds. So their beds were actually, they couldn't move their beds.
Stationary, yep.
And also, they only had a pot to piss in, so to speak, the honey buckets. And I think they added the extra mesh because they used to throw the honey bucket contents at the guards.
Yeah, I see.
What a beautiful building. See how, oh no, even the paintwork on the outside is still visible.
It again, kind of stands out from everything else.
Well, this was the theatre and it was built in 1919. And it housed, or it could, I think it was up to 600 seat theatre.
Wow.
But it was deliberately set on fire in 1975, but they never charged anybody.